returning to the Mass Effect universe this year with Mass Effect Andromeda. The franchise will see significant changes this time around with a new engine in Frostbite, a new protagonist, new universe, and several promised changes to the gameplay. Details are still up in the air, but there are plenty of things we hope to see in Mass Effect Andromeda when it releases during the holiday season. More character customization. Mass Effect has been pretty liberal with its customization options, letting you modify your teammates or simply auto-level them to focus on Shepard. The customization has been rather limited though, and we'd love to see Andromeda incorporate squad-based benefits, deeper skill trees, and customization for individual characters. Something easy to manage, but still in-depth like the Witcher 3 skill system would be ideal. Brand new abilities and classes. Though we've seen enough CQC classes in Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, we'd love for the N7 Phantom, or even the equivalent of the Geth Juggernaut, to become available for single player. More variety in abilities and classes would help encourage a diverse level of play for those focusing strictly on the campaign. Less linear romance options. For all of the great characters and memorable quests we've seen in Mass Effect, the mechanics behind romancing characters felt pretty rote. Have an interaction or two, and simply bed the character at the right time. Past that, there wasn't much long-term effect that romantic relationships had on the story. Game-changing effects or weighty developments from romances in Mass Effect Andromeda would be appreciated. Wider variety of side quests. Speaking of those side quests, we want more. More missions to explore desolate wreckages, more missions to rescue important individuals, more wars to intervene in, and more mysteries to solve. Mass Effect 3 had a strong variety of side quests, but next to games like The Witcher 3 and even Fallout 4, we can't help but feel the need for a larger number. Procedural generation. If this current generation of gaming has taught us anything, it's that we want a reason to return to the games we love, even if it's for slightly better loot. Some games have found excellent ways to address this, like Bloodborne's Chalice Dungeons or Diablo 3's Rifts. Procedural generation in Mass Effect Andromeda would be ideal, perhaps with regards to basic side missions or even completing different maps with various modifiers and enemies to earn some kind of endgame progression reward. Expanded co-op. Mass Effect 3's multiplayer was fun, but it was still pretty limited in scope. Dragon Age Inquisition did co-op multiplayer a little better, offering dungeons to explore and loot to gain. We'd like to see Mass Effect Andromeda pursue a more expansive co-op mode, perhaps offering a wide adventure map full of different co-op missions that players can experience. Daily events, challenges, and varying modifiers would go a long way towards keeping these fresh and entertaining while new maps and classes drop down the road. New enemy types and a new antagonist. It's a given that Mass Effect Andromeda will have some new enemy types, but we want a compelling antagonist more than anything else. It feels like forever since a villain like Saren was a major threat, and while the Harbinger and Elusive Man were cool enough, there was still that extra bit of personalization that felt missing at times. Ship combat and wider variety of vehicles. The Mako will be making a return, and it's rumored that players can now fly their ship in space as opposed to selecting destinations on a map. This is a good start, but a wider variety of vehicles for planet-side missions and some form of ship combat, even if it's turn-based and strategic, would be great. After all those amazing cutscenes of space warfare, we certainly hope Andromeda allows us a real-time role in some capacity. Choices that affect the worlds around you. Mass Effect has always tried to make player choice matter, especially across games, but Andromeda should take things a step further. Your choices should be reflected in the world around you, whether in how its citizens react to you or how the well-being of various planets is affected by your actions. While game-changing events have occurred in the series, seeing the effects of these from side missions would make them all the more compelling in Andromeda. Greater variety of weapons. The Witcher 3 offered players a chance to scavenge for Witcher gear, thus opening up the various schools and their characters in the process. Something similar in Mass Effect Andromeda as opposed to simply unlocking weapons would be great and provide an impetus to explore the universe around us. A larger variety of weapons, aside from the usual sniper rifles, sidearms, and shotguns, would also be ideal. After all, the more unique the weapons, each with their own perks and distinct identities, the more excited we'd be to go out and earn them, especially in multiplayer. What features do you want to see in Mass Effect Andromeda? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you next time.